Welcome to Into the Unknown. I'm your host, Kraken. I've been a paranormal investigator for 14 years. When my dad passed away in 2010, I began experiencing some unusual things, which led me to become an active member in the paranormal community. In 2011, I helped found the National Paranormal Society and currently serve as a senior director overseeing two departments which cover investigation research, team resources, and photography. I have led 3 local paranormal teams and currently lead NPS of Texas. From 2011 to 2014, I was involved in the filming of NPS alone as the only female investigator on a team of 5. I have previously hosted 3 paranormal shows: Torching Hot Topics with Torch Paranormal, DNS Live with DNS Paranormal Crew, and NPS Focus, all hosted on the Para Encounters Network. The study of the paranormal is called parapsychology. During the show, we will cover ghosts and hauntings, haunted locations, aliens and UAPs, also known as UFOs and UFOlogy, cryptozoology, demonology, ancient mysteries, and the occult. Within these areas, we focus on photography, science, health and safety, technology, and investigation research, along with team resources. Since this is a featured show on the Meet Me app, I will not be able to acknowledge your comments in real time or thank you individually for your gifts. But I will take a moment at the end of the show to say thank you and to give some shout outs. If you have questions or comments for me, please stay after the show. Please also remember to keep the comments respectful in the chat and towards myself and my guest. Those who cannot contain themselves will be escorted out of the stream. Now, if y'all are ready, let's go into the unknown. Hey, night owls, sky watchers, and believers in the beyond. Kraken here, and you've just stepped back into the unknown, your featured show here on the Meet Me app, where we unravel the eerie, explore the arcane, and lean into the unexplained. We go live every Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern, and tonight we're taking off into a realm of blinking lights, military secrets, and interstellar intrigue, UFOlogy. Arizona skies have been putting on a show lately, and it's not all natural. From high-speed flyovers to a $100 million jet getting mysteriously damaged mid-air, something strange is stirring in the West. Add in vanishing orbs, radar blind spots, and theories that stretch from shadow government tech to otherworldly visitors, and yeah, we've got a lot to unpack. Joining me tonight is fellow paranormal investigator and chaos chaser Mikey. He's been knee-deep in the strange lately, and I mean that literally. We're talking sightings, synchronicities, and a few moments even he can't explain away. Whatever's happening, it feels like something's ramping up, and tonight we're connecting the dots. So lock your doors, adjust your antenna, and keep your third eye open. It's Sunday night, the signal's strong, and the truth is circling overhead. This is Into the Unknown. Let's get weird. First up, buckle up, because the veil is thin and the headlines are thick with the weird, the wild, and the downright unexplainable. It's time for another edition of Paranormal News Around the World this week, where ghosts grab the mic, UFOs hog the spotlight, and the truth is always stranger than fiction. From haunted mansions to government jets getting smacked midair by mysterious craft, this week's roundup is proof that the unknown isn't just knocking, it's kicking the door wide open. The History Channel's Beyond Skinwalker Ranch returns with its 3rd season, premiering this Tuesday, June 3rd at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and I am beyond ecstatic about it. This season expands its investigation into paranormal and UFO activity beyond Utah's Skinwalker Ranch to other mysterious sites across the U.S., including Bradshaw Ranch in Arizona, the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts, and Rocky Mountain Ranch in Colorado. The show features former CIA agent Andy Bustamante and investigative journalist Paul Beeben as primary host, joined by returning experts from the original series. On Friday, June 13th, Friday the 13th, The legendary Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, is offering a rare opportunity for paranormal enthusiasts. Participants will engage in a 2.5 hour guided investigation, exploring the mansion's labyrinth corridors and rooms known for unexplained phenomena. The event includes hands-on use of investigative tools and insights into the house's storied past. Tickets are priced at $125 per guest, with entry times at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. Released on April 30th, 2025, Holy Night Demon Hunters is a South Korean action horror film directed by Lim Dae-hee. The story follows a trio of demon hunters, Bae Woo, Sharon, and Kim Kun, as they combat a devil-worshipping cult attempting to summon the ancient demon Asmodeus in Seoul. The film combines intense action sequences with supernatural elements, offering a fresh take on the exorcism genre. Season 2 of Haunted Discoveries Family Spirits premiered on March 16th, 2025 on the TNE network, continuing its unique exploration of personal hauntings tied to family heritage. Led by Brandon Alvis and Mustafa Gadalari, the series delves into documented case studies where individuals believe they're haunted by deceased family members, blending emotional narratives with scientific investigation. The show distinguishes itself by focusing on the emotional connections between the living and the departed, offering closure to those haunted by their ancestry. Each episode combines historical research, advanced investigative techniques, and heartfelt storytelling to uncover the mysteries of familial spirits. Brandon Alvis, known for his meticulous approach to paranormal research, brings a personal touch to the series. His dedication to blending history with science provides a credible framework for exploring the supernatural. From June 12th to the 15th, Chicago will host the Windy City Paranormal Festival, a unique event celebrating all things paranormal. The festival features a diverse lineup, including live storytelling, haunted bar investigations, a supernatural burlesque show called Boolesque, and the haunted 80s prom. Notable guests include Adam Berry from Kindred Spirits, John E. L. Tenney from Unsolved Mysteries, and Heather Taddy from Paranormal State. Events will be held at various venues such as the Untitled Supper Club and Comedy Bar. Now, while haunted prom nights and demon hunting thrillers have been lighting up the paranormal scene lately, tonight's show is all about what's lighting up the skies. So let's shift gears and talk UFOs for a moment, because the strange isn't just haunting our homes, it's circling above us. In March 2025, residents of Buga, Colombia reported witnessing a metallic sphere like this flying erratically before it landed and was recovered. The object, dubbed the Buga Spear, weighs approximately 4.5 pounds and is notable for its lack of welds or joints, suggesting it may not be man-made. It features engraved symbols resembling ancient Ogham and Mesopotamian scripts. X-ray analysis revealed 3 layers of metal-like material and 18 internal microspheres arranged around a central nucleus referred to as a chip. While some researchers speculate it could be an elaborate art project, others believe it may be of extraterrestrial origin. Further analysis is ongoing to determine its true nature. For more information, check out the New York Times. On May 26, 2025, just a few days ago, around 15 to 20 luminous drone-like objects were observed near the Kamala border outpost in Janagar along the India-Nepal border, triggering panic and high alert in the region. The Shastra Simi Bal, SSB, is responsible for securing the border. They confirmed the sightings, noting that the objects moved from northeast across Indian territory before returning north into Nepal. The Indian Air Force stations in Darbhanga and Delhi were notified, while SSB sought clarification from Nepalese security forces who denied any involvement. Speculations arose that the objects might be Starlink satellite trains operated by Elon Musk's SpaceX, which reflect sunlight shortly after sunset or before sunrise. Security forces, along with local police, are maintaining heightened vigilance along the border. For more information, and where I stole this picture from, check out the Times of India. All right, we showed this picture earlier, so let's talk about it. In January 2023, a U.S. F-16 Viper fighter jet was struck midair by an orange-white uncrewed aerial system, or a UAS, presumably a drone, damaging its canopy and temporarily grounding it. This event was documented by the FAA and initially reported by the War Zone. Subsequent days saw further UAS sightings in the area, highlighting an ongoing pattern of unidentified flying object activity, particularly near the U.S.-Mexico border. While some officials speculate these UAS may be advanced drones used by drug cartels, the persistent and advanced nature of these incursions raises both national security and air safety concerns. For more information on this story, check out the New York Post. Again, just a few days ago, late on May 24th, 2025, an unidentified flying object with blinking multicolored lights was observed hovering over the India-Bangladesh border in Hasnabad, raising alarm among residents and security officials. Eyewitnesses described the object as stationary for approximately 10 to 12 minutes before vanishing, with some claiming it resembled a drone. The object was first sighted by a group of youths on the Katal Bridge. Following the report, personnel from Hasnabad and Hinglegang police stations, along with Border Security Force, the BSF, Jawins, promptly arrived at the scene. Preliminary investigations have begun, with senior BSF and police officers not dismissing the potential of cross-border espionage or technological surveillance. Police sources also indicated that up to 3 such objects may have entered Indian airspace from across the Bangladesh border. Authorities are treating the incident with gravity and continue to investigate the possibility of drone-based surveillance activities. For more information, again, check out the Times of India. Again, a few days ago, on May 18th, 2025, a mysterious flying object was captured on a live webcam near Cozumel, close to Cancun, Mexico. The footage shows, and this is an actual picture, a dark metallic object flying at almost imperceptible speed past a docked cruise ship. Onlookers reacted with amazement and confusion, with suggestions ranging from a large bird to an insect. This sighting follows prior UFO reports, including a February 2023 incident where sailors aboard the USS Jackson off the coast of Southern California claimed to have observed 4 synchronized flying objects, described similarly to tic-tac-shaped crafts. For more information on this story, check out the U.S. Sun. And that's your portal pass through this week's most bone-chilling headlines. Whether it's South Korean demon hunters, haunted proms, or glowing objects over international borders, one thing's for sure: the strange never sleeps. All right, investigators, it's time to test your sixth sense and your short-term memory, because paranormal trivia is back, and tonight's questions are hotter than a demon in holy water. We're talking mysterious fears in Colombia, haunted house happenings on Friday the 13th, border crossing UFOs, and the kind of ghost hunting etiquette that could save your soul. And if you've been paying attention to tonight's guest, you might just have the edge on the final questions, because we're throwing in a little Mikey mystery to keep you on your toes. So let's see who's got the brains to back up their bravado and who's about to get spiritually schooled. Tonight's trivia questions are: number 1, what unusual object was recently discovered in Buga, Colombia, sparking speculation about extraterrestrial origins? Number 2, what type of event is the Winchester Mystery House hosting on Friday, June 13th? Number 3, what phenomena caused panic near the India-Nepal border in late May 2025? Number 4, what phrase is recommended to say during a closing ritual after ghost hunting? Number 5, what is a common first sign that something may have followed you home? Number 6, which crystal is most commonly used for spiritual protection and grounding? Number 7, what is the name of the massive 1997 UAP event witnessed by thousands in Arizona? Number 8, what type of aircraft reportedly sustained damage during the recent Arizona UAP incident? Number 9, what is Mikey's favorite paranormal area? And number 10, what is one thing you probably didn't know about Mikey before tonight? There's your paranormal trivia questions for tonight. Hope you screenshot them. From mystery spheres to protecting yourself during investigations, tonight's questions were designed to test just how closely you've been watching the shadows. And don't worry, I'm not leaving you in the dark for too long. The answers will be revealed later in the show. So keep those guesses locked in and your spirit guides on standby. Now, let's shift gears because the unknown isn't done with us yet. All right, we're just getting warmed up for the night. We've talked strange sightings, zigzagging lights, and jets that can't keep up. But coming in, Mikey and I are diving into some real life encounters that might just make you double check the sky tonight. Got a wild story or want to be a guest on the show? Message me or Lugs on IG and let's make it happen. And hey, July 7th, don't forget, we're hosting a Paranormal Investigators Roundtable. DM your best questions now. The top 10 will be featured live. Stick around. The skies aren't quiet just yet. All right, tonight's feature is going to be talking about not everything that goes bump in the night stays behind. Sometimes the energy we stir up doesn't just haunt the halls, it hitches a ride. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most unsettling and lesser talked about dangers in paranormal investigation: spiritual hitchhikers. Whether you're a seasoned investigator, a curious newcomer, or someone who accidentally wandered too close to something strange, this segment's for you. Because yes, it's real. And yes, it can happen to you. We'll break down the types of hauntings that follow, how to tell if something's latched onto you, and most importantly, what you can do to take your power back. And by the way, this topic isn't just theory tonight. My guest Mikey has been dealing with something kind of personal. You'll hear all about that later, but for now, let's get into what you need to know if something follows you home. Let's first answer the question of what is a hitchhiking spirit. A hitchhiking spirit is a paranormal entity or energetic residue that attaches to a person, object, or even a pet and travels home with them from a haunted location. There are three main types you'll want to be aware of. The first is residual energy. This is like spiritual smoke. It's leftover emotion or trauma, not a spirit with intention, but it can still affect your mood and space. The second is intelligent spirits. These are spirits that notice you. Maybe they're curious, lonely, or just looking for a new haunt. The last one is malevolent entities. They're rare, but they're serious. These ones thrive on fear, chaos, and attention. If something is draining your energy, creating sleep disturbances, or causing irrational conflict, it could be more than a bad day. Some spirits cling because you made a connection. Others, they're opportunistic. Either way, you need to be prepared. And while Hollywood may have you thinking every attachment is a full-blown possession, most cases are subtle. It's more like a slow spiritual leak until you notice you're not quite yourself anymore. How do you know if something has followed you home? Here are some things to consider in determining if something might have come home with you. First, you may feel drained for no reason, constant exhaustion even after sleep. Nightmares or sleep paralysis that started after your visit. Unexplained mood shifts. Irritability, depression, or anxiety. Pets suddenly are avoiding rooms or growling at corners. You're hearing knocks, footsteps, whispers, or seeing shadows. Electronics are acting up. Lights are flickering, phones are glitching, batteries are draining. If one or two of these are showing up, it could be coincidence. But if you're ticking off a list, it's time to act. We'll cover what to do if you did bring something home in a little bit. Bonus red flags: losing items you know you didn't misplace, sudden tension between people in your home, and unexplained smells like sulfur, perfume, or even smoke. I always say if your instincts are screaming, don't shush them. You're probably not just being dramatic, you're being alerted. So, one of the most important things you can do is to know how to protect yourself before, during, and after an investigation. So, before an investigation, ground yourself. A quick breathing session or meditation helps set energetic boundaries. Carry black tourmaline, obsidian, or selenite. Set your intention. Say this aloud. Nothing may attach to me or follow me. Intention is powerful. Use protective oils, charms, iron, salt, or religious symbols. A dab of rosemary oil behind your ears can go a long way. During the investigation, be respectful, no antagonizing or provoking. Watch how you feel. Dizziness, headaches, sudden chills may signal spiritual presence. Do not joke about attachments. Spirits listen, and some have a dark sense of humor. If something feels off, step away. Trust your intuition more than the tech. And after the investigation, cleanse immediately. Use sage, Palo Santo, or incense like dragon's blood or frankincense, which you can find at your local Walmart and are my absolute trusted space cleansers. You can take a salt bath or spiritual shower with intention, and herbs like lavender or basil if you can. Do a closing ritual, a simple one. The door is closed, the connection is severed. Then reflect. Write down anything odd. These notes help spot patterns if it continues. And a pro tip, if you're investigating regularly, rotate your protective tools. Spirits adapt, and so should your defense. Now, if you think you did bring something home with you, here's what you can do. If the air feels heavy, if your pets are acting weird, or if your gut is screaming, don't ignore it. Here is your 5-step spiritual damage control plan. First off, acknowledge it calmly. Do not panic. Say, I know you're here, but you cannot stay. Cleanse your space. Use incense, sound bowls, prayers, or even clapping. Line thresholds with salt. Speak your boundaries and firmly do them. You are not welcome. You must leave. Protect and reinforce. Set mirrors facing outward. Place crystals at doorways. Draw seagulls or protective symbols. And lastly, seek support. If it escalates, contact a medium, clergy member, or experienced investigator. Do not try to fight advanced entities alone. Even switching up the music in your home, lighting white candles, or adding more light to rooms can disrupt energy. Spirits don't always thrive in bright, joyful environments. And trust me, your intention matters more than your tools. Even dollar store sage can work if your will is strong. So let's get real for a minute. Why do spirits even hitchhike in the first place? It's not random. It's not just your luck. There's always something that creates an opening, and understanding that is key to closing it. First off, emotional vulnerability attracts energy. Spirits, especially intelligent or malevolent ones, are drawn to energy. If you walk into a haunted location carrying anger, grief, anxiety, or even unresolved trauma, you're like a walking battery to them. Think of it like this. You're bleeding emotional energy, and they smell it. They may see you as a source of comfort, validation, or even fuel. And if you're already running low, that drain can hit hard once they've latched on. Second, disrespectful or reckless behavior opens doors. If you walk into an investigation treating it like a game, joking around, provoking, or mocking the dead, don't be surprised when something decides to follow you home to make a point. Spirits have personalities too. Some were cranky in life, some were scared, and some were downright mean. And when they get disrespected, they react, just like the living do. Even just forgetting to say goodbye or skipping a closing ritual can leave the door cracked open enough just for something to slip through. Third, the lack of grounding or shielding. If you're not grounded, you're vulnerable. Period. Energy shielding isn't just woo-woo talk, it's spiritual self-defense. If you go into a location energetically open, it's like going camping without a tent and then wondering why something crawled into your sleeping bag. Setting intention before you enter, like saying, nothing may attach to me, is more than words. It's like putting up a no trespassing sign in the spiritual realm. Fourth, you made a connection, and they noticed. Sometimes a spirit follows you not because you're vulnerable, but because you stood out. Maybe you acknowledged them when no one else did. Maybe you said their name, empathized with their story, or felt emotional while hearing their pain. That creates a bond. Even if unintentional, that moment of connection might make them think, you're the one who sees me. I'm coming with you. And lastly, some spirits just don't know they're not welcome. Here's the wildest part. Not all spirits know they're dead. Some are confused, lost, or simply wandering. And when they find someone open to them, they just stay. Not always maliciously. Sometimes just because they don't know better. That's why it's so important to set verbal and energetic boundaries. If you don't say, you cannot stay, they may assume they can. Bottom line, spiritual hitchhiking happens when we open the door, intentionally or not, through emotion, behavior, energy, or lack of boundaries. But the good news, once you understand the why, you gain the power to prevent it and stop it if it starts. Let's take a look at a few stories that show how real and personal spiritual hitchhikers can get. At Waverly Hills Sanatorium, multiple investigators have reported taking home energy, including heavy nightmares and physical illness. At Bobby Mackey's Music World, known as one of the most haunted nightclubs in America, visitors have experienced mood swings and even aggression for weeks after visiting. Even Ed and Lorraine Warren documented multiple cases in which clients experienced escalating activity after leaving a haunted space, without ever realizing they had brought something home. These aren't just spooky stories, y'all. They're case studies in what can happen when boundaries aren't set or respected. Now, let's talk tools of the trade. What works? What's hype? There's a lot of spiritual gear out there, but not all of it is equal. Here's what legit and what's mostly aesthetic. What works? Crystals like black tourmaline, obsidian, and smoky quartz for protection and grounding. Herbs like sage, rosemary, basil, and mugwort, all with centuries of use in banishment and cleansing. Items like salt, mirrors facing outward, iron nails, and protective symbols or sigils. Mostly hype? Store-bought haunted house sprays with no intention behind them. Glamour spells or TikTok rituals with zero grounding or context. Remember, the power is in the intention. A $2 bundle of herbs with serious focus beats a $40 spiritual influencer kit any day. Want to avoid taking something home? Here's a short list of what not to do. Investigating while intoxicated or emotionally volatile. Taking objects, dirt, or souvenirs from haunted locations. Using mirrors, spirit boards, or pendulums without boundaries. Skipping a closing ritual or leaving a session open-ended. Ignoring repeated signs and hoping they'll just go away. Think of it like spiritual hygiene. Would you leave a hospital without washing your hands? Then don't leave a haunted site without cleaning your energy. No matter your background, there are ways to protect your energy. Protection isn't tied to one belief, it's universal. Let's take a look at a few of them. In Christianity, the use of psalms like Psalm 91, holy water, crucifixes. In Wicca paganism, the use of circle casting, elemental protection, runes, or pentacles. In indigenous practices, the use of smoke ceremonies like cedar or sweetgrass, drum work, and ancestral invocation. In secular spiritual, the use of energy cleansing, affirmations, crystals, meditation, and sound baths. The tools vary, but the intention to guard your space and self is always the same. So, let's take a minute to walk through a simple ritual you can use after an investigation or really anytime you feel like something's lingering. Go ahead and screenshot this if you would like. Number 1, stand or sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Visualize a bright white light forming at the crown of your head, then let it slowly move down your body, enveloping you. As the light moves, say aloud or in your mind, I cleanse and release all energies that are not mine. I send them back to their origin with peace and without harm. When the light reaches your feet, imagine pushing any remaining darkness and down into the earth. Finish by saying, this space is mine. I am protected. I am whole. That's it. Simple, powerful, and a great way to close your energy before calling it a night. So, have you ever brought something home from a haunted location? Did your pets go wild? Did your lights flicker? Did something whisper your name when no one was around? I want to hear your story. DM me on Instagram. Your experience might just make it on the show. And remember, this isn't just theory tonight. My guest Mikey will be joining me to talk about his personal experience with a hitchhiker that didn't and still doesn't want to let go. Trust me, it's a story you don't want to miss. Now, here are my final thoughts on spiritual hitchhikers. Not all hauntings look the same. Not all spirits stay where they're found, but knowledge is protection. Protection isn't about fear. It's about taking back your power. When you set the rules, the spirits learn to play by them. Stay grounded, stay guarded, and above all, stay curious. Because the real danger, it's not what's in that haunted house. It's what gets in your car and follows you home. Still with us, Skywatchers? Good, because it's about to get weirder. Mikey's got a personal story coming up that shook even him. And if you've been watching his streams, you know that's saying something. So let's take a pause for a second to shout out the top three gifters of the stream. They are, at this moment, number 3, Lugs, number 7, Mythical, and number 1, Kane. Thank you very much, you guys, tonight. If you haven't yet, give them a favorite and show some love to all my other gifters. Your support keeps this spooky ship sailing. Want to be on a future episode or share your own experience live? You know what to do. Hit me up on IG or get with Lugs, who's in the comments. And remember, July 7th is the date. The Paranormal Investigators Roundtable is coming, and you do not want to miss it. Questions are open now. Top 10 get featured. More UFO weirdness and chaos coming your way, but Mikey, if you'll please request the box as we prepare for our guest segment, we'll get started on having a little bit of fun tonight. Got me in just a minute. Get him in the box here. There he is. All right, here we go. Mikey, I am so glad to have you on the show tonight. Thanks for being here. Of course, we all know, if you guys know Mikey, you know he's no stranger to the strange. So before we dive into your recent experience, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience. Let folks know where they can catch you streaming, what kind of content you're putting out, and if you've got any events or investigations coming up.
I'm actually getting ready to go to Waverly in July.
I love it.
Yep.
So you do, what is it, Wednesday night investigations live?
Well, not so much anymore, but we used to.
You still a lot of it. You got a lot of your fans in the comments there. You guys, thanks for joining us with Mikey tonight.
Yeah.
Don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. So when I was prepping for the show, I always ask everybody what their favorite paranormal is. So Mikey, which one is your favorite?
My paranormal?
Your favorite paranormal field out of the 7?
Probably the hitchhikers.
The ghost and hauntings.
Yeah.
What we work in and out of all the time. So let's get into it tonight. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on. You guys, I want you to pay attention to the background with Mikey. He's been talking about hearing some popping sounds, so let us know if you hear that during this visit.
I've had like strange, loud popping noises going on. And I don't know, this shadow man, I cannot get rid of it for nothing.
So kind of tell everybody, like I know because we've talked about it in my stream, kind of tell everybody what happened, where you were, what's been going on.
I believe I was at the cemetery when I brought it home. I'm pretty sure.
And then who were you visiting out there?
My grandma and grandpa.
And this is something you do routinely, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not abnormal for you to be out in the cemetery visiting your relatives.
I know.
And then
it's kind of strange, but I don't know.
Tell us what else has been going on, because there's been some other things, you guys, that are going to kind of creep you out that have been going on.
Oh, a whole lot. I get scratched at night every now and then, get made sick. Doors open and shutting, loud popping noise going on. I don't know, it's just crazy here at times.
And then you've also seen like a shadow figure.
I can't get rid of it. Yeah.
I know you sent me a picture of that.
I just cannot get rid of it for nothing.
How long has this been going on now? It's been about a month, hadn't it?
No, it's been going on probably about a year or more.
Oh, wow. I was thinking it was something more recent than that.
Yeah.
So have you locked in on, like, does it happen anywhere in the house, just a certain place in the house? I know I was asking you earlier when we were kind of chatting in DMs about the popping. Have you noticed that you feel safer in any particular room in your house versus others?
I feel more safe in my room for some reason. I don't know why. The rest of the house, I feel weird. I don't know. That's weird, strange.
So does it affect your sleep? I've got Mythicals asking in the comments.
Yeah. Very much. It affects my sleep. I don't sleep at night.
You're not getting any sleep at night.
No.
So what
I
have you
like to sleep with
done?
one eye open if I sleep.
What have you done recently to try to protect yourself?
Well, got this right here I sleep with at night.
That's good protection. We just talked about some things being religious symbols and items. Are you also saying prayers with that? Did I lose Mikey?
Yeah,
There he is. You kind of froze up
yeah,
for a minute there.
every night.
Every night. So have you had to
That's
go
my signal
in?
problem.
Have you had to go in and ever help somebody
And,
else
and,
get rid of a spirit?
and those, yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. And some of those methods that you've
That
used
was
haven't been helping you at all, has it?
no, not at all. It's making me feel worse and worse, and I feel drained. I feel, I don't know.
Kind of
Sometimes I
some of
just
the
start
things we
crying
talked
out of the
about
blue.
tonight, right? Like it's that emotional attachment that starts affecting you.
That's why I think might be my grandpa. I'm thinking that's why. I don't know.
And you were close to your grandpa,
Do you think
weren't
it could
you?
be?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
But here's the real question though, and you know this from being an investigator as well. How are you feeling when you feel a presence? Does it scare you? Does it comfort you? Are you curious about it? What's that first emotion that you're coming up with?
Well, at first it makes me cry immediately, and then I get sick, and then I get like chicken skin, and I don't know.
The goosebumps.
Sometimes I even pass out from it.
Are you s- are you scared of it in a sense that you're scared of it because it's unknown, or are you scared of it because it's making you emotional? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you said, and I'm not really scared of it no more. I'm used to it. Put it that way.
Unfortunately, you've gotten used
I
to
just
it.
yeah. I don't like the way it's making me feel though. Is what it is.
Have you, so, we talked about in the previous segment, we talked about setting boundaries and making things known. Have you said to it to leave you alone and quit making you sick? Like, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but have you had conversations with it to understand what your boundaries are?
Yes, many times, and it'll go away for about a week or two, and then come right back up. Especially when I'm talking to you. I'm surprised nothing's happened yet.
Yeah. You guys, just so y'all know, earlier when I
Uh,
was getting ready for the show, Mikey was in the comments and we were chit-chatting and he started hearing the popping going off more and more. And it seems like anytime we're chatting on DM about it, it starts affecting your stream and I'm kind of cutting you in and off, it seems like.
yeah, it is. I see that too now.
Now, somebody in the comments said they heard the pop. I
It's like
haven't heard
almost
anything yet. So have you heard anything since we've been chatting?
not yet. It's really loud though when I hear it. I mean, extremely loud. It freaks me out at times. It almost sounds like a firework, but it's not a firework.
I was going
It's
to
that
ask you.
loud.
So it kind of almost sounds like the intensity of like popping a champagne bottle, that pop, that real loud pop.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's just
It, it,
recently
it
started,
freaks me
right?
out at times, and I don't get scared too easily. Yeah, about 3 days ago,
And is it
like a knock.
more
Yeah, kind of
like a
like a
knock?
knock.
Okay. So, but you're only hearing it once.
Yeah,
You're not hearing like three knocks in a row, are you?
sometimes. Yeah.
That's something
Last
to
night
take
I
note
did,
of. That is definitely
and I
something.
went to check the door. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's something to take note of, especially if it's threes, because you know what they say about things that happen in threes, especially knocks.
Uh huh. Yep. Yep. And see, it's interfering with my signal right now. I'm cutting in and out
Yeah,
bad.
you froze for a moment while ago.
Yeah. It knows. This thing isn't dumb. It's smart.
You know what's wild is
Uh-huh.
anytime I have tried to help somebody that has had something follow them home, the the entity as we will call it, knows that I'm trying to help that person and will always start disrupting any kind of contact. Whether it's like you and I talking on the stream and freezing you, or it's people trying to talk to me on DMs, like they try to send messages and they don't go through type of thing. So it's like they know that you are seeking help to try to get rid of them.
Exactly. They know. It's not dumb by any means.
Yeah, they're they're pretty smart and they know like they're very intent on doing what they want to do and they don't want you getting any help for it.
It's weird too, because right now I'm like in a real hot sweat. I just started sweating really bad.
Oh wow. Are you still
And
do you still have the
it's cold in my
goosebumps?
house. I mean, yeah,
So do you feel like it's there with you now?
I just lost signal.
You're still good. We can still see you.
Yeah, I do actually.
So apparently
Okay,
somebody in the
yeah.
comments was not here
I'm
for the
surprised
last
nothing's
segment
happening.
when you're saying to provoke it. You should never, ever, ever provoke an entity. Ever. And that's one thing that we're just not going to do.
Nope.
So that's a great question. Mythical asks, do you think entities converse with
I'm
one
guilty of
another?
it. I'm,
Sometimes I think they do. Sometimes,
I'm
absolutely, I think
guilty
they
of
do.
it. I've done it before. I didn't. I mean, I don't know why I did it, but I did.
And there goes my stream. Mythical, welcome back in. Ken, welcome back in. I have never had my show stop midstream. So when I tell you guys these things, no, they know. It is crazy. So that means we have an hour for the show. We've got 13 minutes. Mikey, make yourself available. We will do an after show for a little bit because I want to get into some things with that tonight. It's definitely whatever has attached itself to Mikey. I will give you guys that much. Give me just a minute here to do some tech stuff on the back end with recording and the like, because I am still having some tech problems on this side. Mikey, talk to me in the comments here. Are you having issues still, tech issues going on? Mikey's back. Mikey, can you let us know if you're okay there in the comments? You're here. Okay. Yeah, it did. It ended my stream. It ended my stream. Oh, wow. All right, we're going to do an after show because I want to talk about it. And I have certain words I would like to use that I can't use during a featured show. So, Mikey, if you'll pop in for the after show, if you guys will stay for the after show, um, yeah, we're gonna get it going. So I'm back up over here on tech. All right, so let's get going. Let's finish up the show, and then we're gonna go in the after show. You guys, this is the second time we've had something kind of crazy, creepy happen during the show, but Mikey, thanks for sharing your story. Obviously, it's the kind of real and raw experience that reminds us just how personal the paranormal can get. If you've ever felt like something followed you home, clearly you're not alone. So, all right, it's a little before midnight. So grab your snacks, check your EMF readers, and stretch your legs. But don't wander too far because coming up, we're going to head straight back into the unknown. And we're going to do the after show. We're going to talk to Mikey about his visitors. So, paranormal trivia answers are on the way, and trust me, a few of them might surprise you. Plus, we've got a few final chills to drop before the night wraps up. Don't forget, if you want to be a guest on the show or have a chilling story to share, hit me up on IG. And keep your eyes peeled for July 7th. Our Paranormal Investigators Roundtable is coming fast. Mikey's going to be on that panel as well. So, the top 10 viewer submitted questions will be featured live. Send yours in if you dare. Now, let's get into our UFOlogy segment for the night. Let's run through this so we can get an after show because I am eager to get some questions answered. So, tonight we're looking into the skies, and what we're seeing might just shake your sense of what's possible. Let's go back to looking at this picture. So, a U.S. F-16 fighter jet worth over $100 million was struck midair by an unidentified object. Officials claim it was a drone. Locals and ufologists, not so convinced. Welcome to the Arizona UAP surge. The incident occurred on January 19th, 2023, during a routine training flight over the Barry M. Goldwater Range near Gila Bend, Arizona. A U.S. Air Force F-16 Viper sustained damage to its canopy after colliding with what was officially described as an orange-white uncrewed aerial system, or a UAS. No drone debris was recovered, no radar evidence of another craft, no clear source, and no clear answers. This event is part of a broader pattern of mysterious aerial encounters in the region. In the days following the incident, additional sightings of unidentified aerial systems were reported near U.S. military sites in Arizona, particularly along the U.S.-Mexico border. These occurrences have raised concerns among defense officials which have been documented by the Federal Aviation Administration and the Department of Defense's All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO. The origin of the drone that struck the F-16 remains unknown because the alleged drone reportedly vanished without a trace, and investigations into these aerial phenomena are ongoing. And while the pilot made it back safely, the incident has fueled renewed speculation in ufology circles and in Arizona's already buzzing UAP community. But it wasn't an isolated report, y'all. In May 2012 alone, the last 30 days, multiple strange area phenomena have been reported across Arizona. In Tucson, residents captured video of a hovering orb that lingered several nights in a row, then just vanished. A Reddit user in Phoenix posted footage of a metallic object that stopped midair, zipped upward, and blinked out of sight. A commercial pilot near the Four Corners region, here, where Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado meet, allegedly snapped a photo, here above, of a massive silver disc estimated to be between 600 and 1,000 feet in diameter. The object appeared lenticular in shape and was reportedly casting a shadow, over here on the other side, on the desert terrain below. The image quickly circulated in UFO circles after it was revealed during a May 2025 UAP Disclosure Fund panel in Washington, D.C. Former Pentagon insider Luis Elizondo, who previously directed the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP, shared the image during the event, stating, "I cannot vouch for the veracity of this photograph because I didn't take it." He clarified that the photo was presented as an example of why we need an official mechanism for civilian UAP reporting, especially for pilots who often witness anomalies and feel they have nowhere to turn. Skeptics, including debunker Mick West, quickly weighed in, claiming the object resembled a pair of circular crop irrigation fields and not a disk in the sky. According to their analysis, the so-called shadow could have simply been field boundaries distorted by lighting and perspective. What do you guys think looking at it? Elizondo later acknowledged the controversy, stating that the photo had not been officially vetted prior to his presentation and apologizing for any confusion. Still, the buzz around the image reflects a larger truth. We're still lacking proper protocols for analyzing and reporting what may be genuine UAP encounters. Now, Arizona, it seems, once again is a hotspot for the unknown. This isn't the first time the Grand Canyon State has made UAP headlines. Let's rewind to March 13th, 1997 with the Phoenix Lights, seen here. Thousands across the state watched a silent, mile-wide formation of lights move slowly across the night sky. Then Governor Fife Symington dismissed it at the time, only to admit years later he believed it was not of this world. And even further back, the Travis Walton abduction case in 1975 near Snowflake, Arizona. Walton vanished for 5 days and returned with one of the most detailed alien encounter stories ever recorded. His tale became the inspiration for Fire in the Sky and is still considered one of the most credible and also controversial abduction accounts in UFO history. Arizona's vast deserts, sparse population, and military testing zones make it the perfect playground for experimental craft or something entirely otherworldly. Let's explore the top theories circulating in the wake of the Arizona UAP search. Theory number one, reversed engineered tech. What if these aren't aliens at all, but are ours? Built using recovered extraterrestrial materials. Whistleblowers like Bob Lazar have claimed for decades that the U.S. government has been secretly working with alien technology, studying, disassembling, and replicating it at hidden facilities like S4 near Area 51. The object seen in Arizona? Silent, impossibly fast, and capable of sharp angle maneuvers without sound or visible propulsion. These align exactly with descriptions of craft allegedly stored and studied by black budget defense programs. Many in the ufology world believe Arizona's proximity to top secret military testing zones means some sightings may be experimental craft, reverse engineered, extraterrestrial inspired, and decades ahead of publicly known technology. But if it's ours, why are we flying it over civilian areas? And why the secrecy? Some believe these test flights are meant to gauge public response or even create plausible deniability should a crash or incident occur. Theory number two, intentional distraction. What if the government wants you talking about aliens so you're not asking about the real tech flying overhead? This theory suggests that the UAP narrative is a cover, a way to keep the public and foreign governments from asking too many questions about what's really in the sky. Possible motives? Testing AI operated surveillance drones or unmanned next gen aircraft. Conducting psychological operations to observe public reaction to unexplained phenomenon. Concealing the development of directed energy weapons or high speed reconnaissance vehicles. This idea isn't new. It dates back to Project Blue Book and even earlier when the Air Force was accused of disinformation campaigns to mask spy plane development during the Cold War. The theory here isn't that the sightings are fake, it's that their real identity is being deliberately misrepresented. And theory number three, interdimensional visitors. What if what we're seeing isn't from space, but from somewhere else entirely? This theory suggests that UAPs aren't aliens in the traditional sense, but beings or craft from other dimensions or realities. Supporters point to strange behavior often reported in these sightings, such as objects that blink in and out of visibility, apparent slipping through solid matter, or distortions in time perception or memory. It ties in with quantum physics and the multiverse theory, proposing that these entities can phase in and out of our dimension at will, or by accident. Some even connect these visitors to ancient folklore, like the sky people of Native American legends, or even angels and demons in religious texts, suggesting they've been with us all along, just viewed through a different cultural lens. Interdimensional visitors would explain why UAPs defy gravity, radar, and logic, because they're not playing by the same rules. So, what do you believe? Have you ever seen something unexplainable in the sky? Flickering lights, silent movement, missing time? DM me on Instagram because I want to hear your story and we might just feature it in a future episode. So, whether it's secret tech, deception, or something not of this world, one thing is for sure, Arizona's skies are stirring. Keep your senses sharp, your flashlight ready, and your critical thinking even sharper, because we're not saying it's aliens, but we're definitely not saying it's not. All right, now before the spirits get too chatty and while your third eye's still warm, it's time to circle back to reveal the answers to tonight's dream themed type of trivia. Whether you've nailed them or guessed wildly under pressure, let's see how tuned in you really were. Number one, what unusual object was recently recovered in Buga, Colombia, sparking speculation about extraterrestrial origins? That was that 4.5 pound metallic sphere. What type of event is the Winchester Mystery House hosting on Friday, June 13th? That is a guided ghost investigation. What phenomenon caused panic near the India-Nepal border in late May 2025? The answer, drone-like flying objects. What phrase is recommended to say during a closing ritual after ghost hunting? It is, the door is closed, the connection is severed. What is a common first sign that something may have followed you home? The answer, pets acting strange or feeling energetically drained. Which of the following crystals is most commonly used for spiritual protection or grounding? That would be obsidian. What is the name of the massive 1997 UAP event witnessed by thousands in Arizona? That would be the Phoenix Lights. What type of aircraft reportedly sustained damage during the recent Arizona UAP incident? That would be an F-16 Viper jet. Now, what was Mikey's favorite paranormal area? Ghost and hauntings. What is one thing you probably didn't know about Mikey before tonight? He is currently dealing with a spirit that followed him home from an investigation. And that wraps up tonight's orbit through UAPs, high altitude anomalies, and secrets that just won't stay buried. Whether you believe it's alien tech, interdimensional visitors, or a little of both, something is moving out there, and maybe it's moving towards us. Massive thanks to my guest Mikey, paranormal investigator, fearless explorer, and full-time magnet for things that go bump in the night. Your insight and your chaos made this one unforgettable. So much so, we're doing an after show. To my bouncers, my gifters, my chat legends, and every single night owl who showed up and showed out, thank you. You make this cosmic carnival one hell of a ride. And speaking of which, let's give a final shout out to our top 3 gifters tonight. Coming in at number 3 is Nighthawk. Coming in at number 2 is Brittany. And coming in at number 1 is Rosie Smokes. I will go back through the entire show and we'll highlight all the gifters here in a little while. Please show them some love. Drop them a favorite. Matter of fact, fave everybody in the gifters lists and everybody in the chat. You've all been lighting up this mothership all night long. So, one more reminder, because I'm proud to be hosting this. Set your reminders now for Sunday, July 7th, as we go deeper with the Paranormal Investigators Roundtable. DM your questions on IG before they vanish like a UFO at sunrise. And I'll see you right back here next week as we shift our focus from the skies to the shadows. Ghost and hauntings take center stage, and I'll be joined by the one and only Savage. We're talking haunted locations, spirit encounters, and ghost stories that don't just chill your spine, they stay with you. That's it for now. Thanks for venturing into the unknown with me. Keep your senses sharp, your flashlight close, and your curiosity wide open. Sleep tight, dream strange, and remember, when the shadows whisper, Kraken's already listening. Thank you for daring to come into the unknown with me tonight. I really appreciate your gifts, but what means the most to me is your being here and showing your support. If you would like to be on the show, send me a message on IG. The link is in my bio. Please stay for the after show segment as I spend the next 30 minutes continuing to talk about what we covered in the show and answering any questions you may have regarding the paranormal field. I hope to see you all again next Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern, where we will go back into the unknown. Have a great night and enjoy your week.